All right, traders, watch this video for Thursday, June 20th. The SPY holding up really well. Pretty strong day today. Looking at 5-minute candles, this is the FOMC announcement, and this is why I generally don't trade after that, although I did have a decent afternoon trade. But I usually sidestep it because it's just too unpredictable. It took off to the downside, then it ripped. It looked like it was going to roll over. I mean, just look at these candles as they unfold. I usually do better doing nothing after FOMC, but then now tomorrow's another day. What are we watching? MLNT, 85 million shares today, and closing fairly strong, all things considered. So certainly worth watching tomorrow. Maybe a red to green, something like that. AQB closed strong. I called this through 3 near the end of the day. So those of you that hung around in chat, we ended up getting a decent move. Called it through 3 right there. It was after it pulled back. I said, you know, we're getting pretty close to the end of the day. If this takes out 3, this might have an end of day run and maybe even go a little higher in after hours. I think it went, I don't know, 320 in after hours, so it didn't do much. But that was a nice little late day trade and plenty of volume to sell into. And it closed so strong that we're going to watch it tomorrow. MYOS, nice pop today. Now, most times when this pops, nothing follows through, right? I mean, look at, you can just tell by looking at the daily chart, but it did close at its highs, which on all of these other pops, it really hasn't done. And it did have what sounded like pretty good news. So we're going to see if there's a follow-through day in this one tomorrow. Pretty thin stock, though. ARQL gapped up, sold off, then the next day ripped, and now you're kind of forming a nice high and tight flag, you know, maybe through 10 bucks on volume tomorrow. We'll have to keep our eyes on it and see what it looks like. TLRY, let me zoom in a little bit here to give you a better look. So it gapped up, I don't know what, eight or 9 sessions ago, something like that, and then kind of sold off for a bit, but really just filled the gap and is curling back up. And a nice pop today. So the daily chart looks, you know, pretty strong. I'm gonna look for a follow-through day tomorrow. 2 calls made in it in chat today. One I called right here over 43.25, and over about 20 minutes it went to 43.93. And then Wayne called it here late in the day over 44, and a quick $1.48 move from there. So a couple calls in it, and it did end up closing pretty strong. So we definitely want to watch that one tomorrow. VSLR, kind of a quiet inside day. I like it over today's high, which would be, what, 754, knowing that just to the left we have 762 as a potential catalyst if it breaks that, which would be the high from yesterday. So pretty nice looking chart there. SPWR, big day yesterday, inside day today. I like it over today's high, over 1057. Maybe that's enough to get it to move back to that 11 and maybe even through that. CIFS, you can't really tell, but it's a big volume day for this stock. If I get those really big volume days out of there and zoom in, you can see. I mean, that was a strong day, and it's holding up pretty well today. Yesterday, it went from $1.29 to $1.93, so that is a big move. And then today, kind of a quiet inside day near yesterday's high. So a pretty good recipe for a possible follow-through kind of third day play. Let's see, Tigger, T-I-G-R. I made a call on this one today too. I'll go over that real quick. Just kind of had this cup and handle. It was already on the watch list. I'll pan out and show you why. There was that big move 3 sessions ago. Yesterday, kind of a quiet inside day, and then today, cup and handle. I mean, I said this before, day trade setups aren't always complicated. This is so easy, right? Big mover, 1 day of rest, and then a cup and handle, and just got long on this volume spike right here. Called it right there in chat. And it wasn't huge, but that was an easy trade, and trades don't usually come that easy. Anyway, back to the daily. I like it. You know, it moved from, I'll give you some numbers here, it moved from 409 to the very next day, 595. So, I mean, that's a huge move, right? Probably almost a 50% move. Then today puts in a lower high, topping out at 569. I certainly like it over today's high, thinking we might come back and retest this 595 and maybe rip through 6. So, switching to 15-minute candles, you can kind of see, right? There's the big move, and it's holding up pretty well. You could even blur your vision a little bit and say there's a little 15-minute inverse head and shoulders forming. I don't get that mired down and stuff. But anyway, I do think this is worth watching. I always want to focus on the recent big movers. And even though this daily chart doesn't look like a big mover, again, this was almost a 50% move right there. So anyway, watch Tigger tomorrow. CODA, big volume spike here that it ended up topping out at 1540, and it's kind of flagging right below 15. So I like this through 15 with some volume tomorrow if that happens. And then FVRR, recent IPO, had a monster move on opening day. Went from 25.55 to 41.68 in one day, and then the next day actually broke 44, and now it's been kind of selling off ever since. There's not a lot of chart to go on. I don't look at this and say, well, here's daily support, and you don't have much to go on. It's only been trading for 5 days. But just the fact that this made this monster move and now is almost round tripped, I really like this for a potential bounce play tomorrow. And that's it. We'll find some gappers to trade in addition to this list, and we'll see you all tomorrow in chat.